Yep, I'm chewing gum and recording a podcast. I know a lot of people don't like to do that, but I really don't care, and I can chew gum if I want. Welcome to HASSCAST 34, and I'm bringing you reviews of the latest and greatest films, TV shows, rap songs, rap albums, a little nostalgia case, and a really old movie, and movie news, and rap news on one amazing podcast. I'm your host, Mike Hass of HASSCAST Solo Podcast. I'm going to have a caller coming in to talk about NLE Choppa's album, maybe even XXL Freshman Freestyle, and so we got a lot to talk about, and I hope you guys are doing great, and I gotta have the Hawaiian shirt on. It's been summer for a while, but I'm really trying to fit into the tropic aesthetic and look tropical, because why not? Who doesn't like looking tropical? You know what I'm saying? So let's get right into it, and let me get a sip of my water. Alright, Umbrella Academy Season 2 came out last week, and the first season of Umbrella Academy was really baffled me with its Gerard Way's creativity and the cool 2006 cool gothic feel, and it's a show about 8 adopted children, all born from non-pregnant parents. I know it's weird. All of them have special powers and whatnot, and the sister that is not treated well causes the apocalypse at the end of the first season, right? So then as soon as that happens, they do a little porthole thing to 1963 Dallas, and they're going to try and stop another apocalypse, and it's really about how it's about how overall the siblings have treated each other over the years as a result of being having an odd upbringing by a very rich, wealthy, elite person who's actually part of this thing called the Majestic 12, which is this Illuminati thing. No, it's not a conspiracy theory, it's just a real TV show, and it's got some whack crazy stuff. There's even a guy who walks around and he's like a fish, there's one bad guy and he has a fish in a head that's on top of there's a fish tank on the top of his head, and he walks around in a robot. It's some crazy shit. And my favorite characters in that family are Fives, Vanya, and Klaus. I did do a tier list ranking of all the characters in the new season that you could just go back on my channel. It's got was put out a couple days ago, and I did like this. I felt like I had more fun with this season compared to the first season. There's way more world building and more understanding of the bad guys, which are the Commission, which is a agency that preserves the timeline of the universe and makes sure things happen the right way and stop people that alter the timeline. So that's a really cool aspect of everything. And let me turn off my fucking ringer. Holy shit. And the main antagonists of the series are, the people who preserve the timeline. And there's some pretty cool motherfuckers. And there is an interesting twist at the end of season 2. And it makes me excited to know what the, Sparrow Academy is. What is that? That's crazy. Shout out to Aiden Gallagher, who plays Fives. He's a vegan, so I can respect that. And, overall, I had a fun time watching this. A lot of people I know watch this show. It's very big. It's one of the newest cool superhero things to get into that is not Marvel or DC. That and The Boys. I really like The Boys. Someone who told me The Boys is like if Quentin Tarantino wrote a superhero show, and how violent and character driven it is as compared to big spectacle. That's what a lot of these shows are doing successfully now, I'd have to say. And Umbrella Academy Season 2, if you haven't watched it, go check out Season 1 and 2. I tried not to spoil it that much. I might have left a couple spoilers in, but they're really not that biggest spoilers. It's kind of in the first episode, what I kind of told you. So I'm really just telling you what's in the first episode of everything. So, definitely check it out. Or if you already have, check it out. Tell me you guys what you thought of Umbrella Academy Season 2 down in the comment section below. or yeah. And also, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, or Google Podcasts, definitely give a rating. And yeah, and thanks for listening to the Umbrella Academy Season 2 review section of HASSCAST 34. Let's get on to the movie news. I got one piece of movie news for you guys. Theaters are reopening. Big chains are reopening. Look up your local theaters, see when they're reopening. I know my local Regal Theater is doing that. They're all reopening. Get your fucking mask. Get your tests. Get your little, the little scanner gun of your temperature. I know it looks so weird and futuristic, but you gotta adapt. And in about 5 years, it'll all be completely normal to just carry around a temperature gun with you if you're running a business establishment. It's all gonna become normal. And get your hazmat suits. I don't care. Live your jolly life and adapt to how things are. And eventually we'll have measles and polio and all these dumbass diseases that randomly come out of nowhere. We'll get a vaccine, but for now, relax, guys, and adapt to how things are. And if your temperature's messed up, go home or take an Advil. I don't know. Apparently, I don't know. There's so many. Everything's changing every day because most of the information spread around. They pull they pull it out of their ass, but once in a while, something works. But I mean, yeah. So yeah, theaters are reopening. I hope they'll start releasing new movies in theaters. I'd go. I'm going. I don't care. I'm going, dude. I would go. If you had to buy a special hazmat suit to get into the theater, I would go. Okay. I really want to see Tenet. I want to see. They're really putting Mulan for $30 on fucking Disney Plus. Why would I? I'm already paying $10 a month, so I'm gonna have to pay $30. I'd do $15. Okay, but $30. I don't know. It's a bit nuts to me. Honestly. Yeah, what do you think of charging for a new movie $30 on Disney Plus? I don't know. I discussed this with Nikki Espelina on my last podcast of if it was out on other services such as iTunes or Prime, yeah, I'd get it for a good amount, but if it was if they do Black Widow for $30, I'm gonna have to see that because it's Blockbuster. That's one of the most hyped up movies in a while, guys. Been hyped up, guys. For real. Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys think of? Would you go to see a movie in theaters if you haven't already? Because they have been slowly reopening in smaller chains over. Would you go see a movie in the theater? Tell me that in the comment section below. And yeah, I'm interested to hear if you would go, cause I'm gone. I'm full send in this bitch. Okay, I'm going right into the theater. I don't care. Yeah. So Drake and Lil Durk, "Laugh Now, Cry Later" is a song. And this is an outstanding new Drake song. It has these I can't wait for his latest new album. It's called Certified Lover Boy. That's a good title. That's what Drake is, He's just he's got that little boyish, little sad boy energy. He's the one who popularized that before Kanye in 2006. Everybody's saying, "Oh, well, 808s and Heartbreaks in 2007 inspired Drake." So, have you listened to Room for Improvement in 2006, which was also recorded in 2005? Drake's the popularizer of the sad boy aesthetic. Can't tell me different. All right, yeah, got that settled. Now this jolly and fun beat, reminiscent of the Bando beat from the Migos big tape that they had with Versace on that from 2013. Yeah, it has those flutes in the back, and it's cool. It's really different from. I'm just saying it has those flutes that kind of remind me of Bando, which is that tape. YRN. One of the best mixtapes ever. It might have been an album, might be a tape. I don't know. But yeah, this new song by Drake is great and has Lil Durk on a feature. I've been listening to Lil Durk since 2013, guys. And it has he's like a true drill pioneer, true Chicago drill pioneer. Ranks among the top 3 Chirac drill artists. That being Chief Keef, Fredo Santana, God rest Fredo, and Lil Durk. But Lil Reese is like is kind of a pioneer. He was on a couple of tracks with Chief Keef, but he got beat up until he shit his pants. Jamie, roll it.
The boy Lil Reese. Oh no. He shitted on himself. Hey, Chris, he shitted on himself. Hey, call the niggas right now. He shitted on himself.
Yeah, so overall, a new track by Drake. How he fakes being happy in front of people, then to go away and cry alone. Sticks with Drake's sad boy style, and that he popularized back in 2006. And Jersey remains the best rapper active right now. And yeah, now let's go on to an up and coming rapper, NLE Choppa. NLE Choppa's Top Shotta, his debut album. This banger-filled album is a hype-generating machine. If you're going to the gym, you're gonna want to put this album on. It has a bit too much tracks, but like most debut albums always have that issue. We'll see if his next album has like a more good amount of tracks, but it's good for a debut album from a 17-year-old. And you can check out my interview with WSC Tony to see how we explain our enjoyment of NLE Choppa. Now to the album. I'm gonna name 5 tracks that make this album as good as it is. Who the Fuck Up in My Trap is one of the best songs of the year. It's got those synth horns reminiscent of a Waka Flocka Flame beat. Very Lex Luger-ish. Very, very like just, and he's growling on the beat. He's so. I bet the people in the studio were like worried he was gonna break something when he recorded this. It's so like in my face, and it's kind of scary listening to it. But it's one, and Shotta Flow 3, 4, and 5, amazing. Shotta Flow 5 is the best one because he kind of gets that growly tone, and Murder Talk is haunting. So those 5 tracks, great. And yeah, I'd have to say it's Lex Luger inspired southern rap amazingness put out by NLE Choppa. He does what he does, and it's great. But I can agree his spice may or may not last. If he does last, I'm all into another album. But I want to see something new from him. But I feel like what he's doing in his lane is good. But if we get more songs like Who the Fuck Up in My Trap, I will be a very satisfied rap enthusiast. Well, let's get a call on from my boy Mormon. And yeah, let's go. Let's get a call on. And yeah, what did you guys think of NLE Choppa's latest project? I didn't like Cottonwood by him. It was very not that impressive. But yeah, I don't know. Got the call on ready, but yeah, Cottonwood was very disappointing, and yeah, I didn't really. Yo, what's up? You're on the podcast, man. What's up? All right, tell them who you are first off.
I'm Chase Tremblay. I make music under the artist name Mormon, but yeah, I'm a producer. I really like NLE Choppa, and his new album is heat. Like,
yeah, yeah. Do you listen to Who the Fuck Up in My Trap? That song?
Yeah, I've listened to it.
Yeah, dude. That give me like your top 3 tracks off the album, or like anything that stuck out.
I liked top 3 would probably be Daydream would probably be number 1. I really like Daydream. Like, it was kind of repetitive. Like, the more you listen to it, it kind of gets old. But, like, it was definitely, like, the first time I listened to the album, definitely the, like, number one song. Made It Happen was probably, I'd say Made It Happen and Shotta for 4 like 2 and 3 tied.
Yeah.
And I like Make 'Em Say too, because it had like a different vibe to it than like most of NLE songs. But
wasn't somebody on Make 'Em Say? Wasn't it a
Mulata, I think.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. And she was on the XXL Freshman. Did you get a chance to see the XXL Freshman list this year?
I've seen the list, but I haven't like looked into it too much.
Yeah. Well, NLE's on it, obviously, but I feel like he could have made last year, but I don't know. I feel like it's good for him to be on the list, though.
Polo G, it seemed like Polo G should have been on there last year, but
yeah, Pop Out was so popular last year in his last album.
For real.
Yeah. All right. So anything.
Shotta probably had my favorite beat on the album. Like it, like almost had like a very like drill and an ambient vibe to it, because the melody was almost like non-existent during it. Like it was just hi-hats, and it had like these light piano chords in the background.
Yeah.
And it would have a bell come in on the verse that was just like heat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like Chief Keef. So
Yeah, that feature was great right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. Check out his music.
Sure. Thanks for having me on here, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. Thank you. I'll definitely check out your music and put the links down below for them to check out your music, man.
For sure. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Alrighty. See you, man.
Alright, I'll see you.
Bye. That was fire, man. Thanks for coming on, Mormon. Yeah. So we were talking about the XSL Freshman freestyle for a little bit, and I think it was a great list. I feel like the last list is full of I feel like they just picked like mainstream clowns last year. Majority of them. I don't care for Roddy Ricch or Mosey's okay, but he's not a good freestyler. But this list is fantastic. We got 24K Golden. He's great. He's musically best on the list. Freestyle wise, I haven't really seen him do that much. Freestyle wise, I'd have to say Jack Harlow's the best on the list. He does a lot of freestyles on the radio shows. He does a lot. I respect his freestyle game. Like, I've definitely seen a lot of, like, you guys look up Jack Harlow freestyle. There'll probably be about 5 on the top ones. Sway. I don't know who else. I think he might have done one with a bootleg Kev. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But he's one of the new. He's been making straight heat since 2015. But he's entered the mainstream this year, obviously, with what's popping. So yeah, I'm very excited. But musically, 24K Golden's the best. But I'm gonna do top 3. And he got voted by his fans. Like, you can't say he's like some industry plant. He got voted by his fans. Like, how are you gonna hate on a guy who was literally voted in compared to your favorite rapper who was picked by the mainstream corporation that is XXL? Like, okay, he was voted by his fans. He's got the best fan game. I've talked to him, DM'd him personally a couple of times. He's got great fan interaction. And yeah, top 3: 24K Golden, Jack Harlow, and NLE Choppa. I'm interested to see what 504 can do on a non-drill beat. Because I know that when they do pick the freestyle beat, they're not gonna pick a drill beat. They're gonna pick like a or something like that. Them fucking who as Kodak once said, who the fuck picked this sorry ass beat? My cousin got out for manslaughter last week. Yeah, a 2016 best freestyle of all time. Any freestyle I've ever seen. The chemistry is unmatchable. It's not even the best XSL Freshman freestyle. It's the best freestyle of all time. Okay, I'm just spitting facts. You disagree? DM me and I'll find your. You DM me and I'll send you my address and we can fight. All right, nostalgia case. Roll it. Blade, 1998. Wesley Snipes is a G. This movie about a half man, half vampire who kills vampires and is the only vampire who can fight people, and he's the only vampire who can go out in the daytime. And basically what he does is during the daytime, he kicks ass, he fights the vampires, and he goes ham with these vampires. And because, they're blood-sucking scumbags. They're horrible. They've been around for thousands of years. And this is just overall one of those great, gothic, weird, dark movies with those techno beats in the background. It sounds like they dude, the music in this is so late 90s, early 2000s techno. Sounds very similar to, Matrix. And it's so, this paved the way for superhero movies to be recognized seriously. Without Blade, there is no X-Men. There is no Spider-Man, most likely. Because after Blade came out, they started taking superhero movies more seriously. Okay? That's a fact. Everybody before this was looking at superhero movies stupid. Okay? Looking at them dumb. Howard the Duck, fucking, everybody liked the Incredible Hulk series, but it was always looked at as corny, similar to the Batman 66. I mean, the Batman movies were pretty good, but then they kind of fell off after the Batman Forever, and them. They were big box office, but everybody looked at them stupid. Everybody looked at them as corny, except for the first two Batman things. But then after that, it fell off again. Mid '90s, nobody wanted superhero movies to prosper. Then Blade comes out, and then we get X-Men, X2, Spider-Man. Oh my God. The era for superhero movies from 1998 to about 2004 is the best time for superhero movies. I love the new Marvel movies, but there is no Marvel movies being as serious and well made and well funded without X-Men, Blade, and Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. Okay, that is a fact. And that era, I grew up in I was born in 2003, and I was watching a lot of TV as a little baby, and always on Spike or all these TVs, I'd see movies like Underworld, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man, X-Men, X-Men 2, Daredevil, not really a good movie, but it was still on. Elektra, those pretty popular movies all were a result of Blade, because studios started taking movies like Blade seriously because it was a kick-ass time. And Wesley Snipes is a great actor, and he was in the latest Eddie Murphy film called Dolomite Is My Name. He was great in that. I didn't like his character, but his performance was good. The character is meant to be unlikable because he's kind of this washed up actor who really is hating on the new guys trying to do their own thing. That was a good movie. But Wesley Snipes, y'all got to give him more respect, and they better have Mahershala Ali go ham in the new Blade movie that they're coming out with this year. And I have to say that special effects at the end fight were kind of garbanzo beans and kind of shiza, no. But, it's a lot of fun. I prefer the scenes, they tried to go they did too much. They went to the Spawn section. Spawn special effects, garbanzo beans. But Michael J. White redeemed himself when he was cast in The Dark Knight, and he played Spawn. But, oh yeah, shout out to Todd McFarlane. He's got the script ready for the new Spawn movie coming out. I'm interested to see what that's going to be like. Because, make up for, the garbage that was the first Spawn movie. And Spawn's an interesting character. I mean, I haven't looked into him too much, but I know the overall, aesthetic and the craziness that he represents. And he represents that dark side of superhero comics that, kind of feels like Blade, but, Blade, solid movie, action, fun, crazy shit, one of the best vampire movies. And shout out to Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, dude. Oh my God, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, dude, that movie was so hated for some reason, But who does not want to see Abraham Lincoln? That's some of the craziest shit I've ever heard of. Before that movie came out, nobody would have ever thought of that. Nobody would have ever thought of that, except for the person who wrote it. But, like, who would have thought that in 2012 we would have gotten a movie where Abraham Lincoln is fighting? The concept itself sells me. And when I saw that movie running on TV for, like, I don't know, it was crazy. Like, vampire things they're so like, I've always liked vampire stories more than zombie stories because you can't communicate with a zombie as a character. You're like, as soon as you're a zombie, you're done. You're nothing. You're a pile of mush that's walking around on the people's brains. But, like, with a vampire, it's sad because you're there and you're looking at somebody who used to be something else, and now their sole purpose is to suck your blood. While they can communicate with you and kind of be a normal person, they'll still always have these mishaps where they're taking their blood and they're looking for that blood, but you miss that time where they weren't fiends, they weren't addicts of blood. You miss that. You miss that part of them, and now you can't have that anymore. And that's why most vampire stories are all tragic and sad, but always have good emotional roller coaster. But with zombie movies, it's all just kill, like, it's all just like you're getting rid of it's like you're just running over some mindless deer in the road. But with vampire movies, it's like you're accidentally running over something slowly, and it's slowly dying, but it's still alive, and it's sad and emotional roller coaster. It's like a very slow car crash. And vampire movies, solid. I just gave you 2 recommendations, guys. Blade and Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. 2 great fucking movies. That's all I got for today's HASSCAST 34. Tell me, guys, what you thought of anything I talked about down in the comment section below. If you're listening on any audio service such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, and Google Podcasts, give a review to make me look more professional. If you really care about me and you're listening to an audio thing, why not just, scroll through the thing, click the fucking button, click the 5-star, because that's what I am. I'm a 5 out of 5 motherfucker. I'm that good. I'm bringing you the latest and greatest film reviews, TV reviews, rap reviews, rap song reviews, rap album reviews, rap news, movie news, and the mind of Hass and the spiritual connection we have with the world. Life's a garden. Dig it, make it work for you. Quoted from Joe Dirt, and a quote from me: life is your playground. Do whatever you want on it. The world is your playground. Do whatever you want on it. I'm gonna correct myself. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be casting out my thoughts to you on the next HASSCAST.